Hello everyone, and welcome to this little demo of me attempting to play Star Citizen 3.17.5 on a Steamdeck running a debloated Windows 11 build. And I've installed Steam on it, and I prefer to do it through big picture mode. You have to launch the game through Steam because it's required to have full controller support, otherwise it won't even work. So I've added the RSI launcher as a non-Steam game and added my own little custom controller layout to it that works well. It acts mostly as a regular gamepad because, Star Citizen supports this, as shown by all these controls that they have, the flight controls and the default on-foot controls that you can see here. And my added buttons are that I've adjusted my right trackpad to use as a regular mouse and my left trackpad as a scroll pad. The right trackpad's insensitivity has been increased a little bit, so it helps. And the back grips I can act as additional commands such as the interactive mode, flight ready, and to accept or deny requests. So I launched the launcher through Steam, and the Steam will wait for the full screen game to begin. And once that's loaded up, which actually takes a bit, it takes about 2 minutes, it's not too fast on loading all these things. Once it's loaded up, I've set the game to a custom resolution of 960 by 600 and then use a tool you can find on Steam called lossless scaling to upscale it with FSR. This helps a little bit with performance. So once we load up in the PU, which also takes about 90 seconds or so, we can start playing the game. Because of the default controller support, we can quickly start playing. So having the F key on one of the back grip buttons means that I can just interact with stuff without having to take my fingers off the trackpad or off the stick. And it also means that I can scroll through lists, such as the list of all these floors that elevators have. And at Hurston L1, which I'm at right now, the frame rate is not as bad. It's about between 20 to 40 FPS on the Steamdeck. It's also because it's not that busy of a place. I'm pretty sure it will be a little different on busier places such as cities, so I'll keep that in mind. I can actually hide the chat because I've made a little quick command to hold the left trackpad to hide chat. It's a bit of an annoyance for me that it keeps showing up, so I'd like to hide it. You can hit L1 and Y to go into third-person camera, which is part of the default gamepad layout that the game has. You can see that I also have full analog support for the sticks because I can pace my walking quite well to slowly walk and then walk faster. So let's call up a ship, and again with the left trackpad I can scroll fairly easy through this. You won't be able to do this with a regular controller at all. Which is the nice thing about these trackpads. So let's call up my Pisces Rescue and go on a tour around the station.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following locations.
Hangar 4. So you see I can interact quite well with all these panels and scroll through the list of floors and select it by tapping the right trackpad. You can hit L1 and D-pad down to turn on the lights. But it also weirdly brings up my utility tool, so Not everything is perfect about this. But once I'm in, I can close the door and get into my seat. Now the ship is already powered, so I won't have to go to flight ready, but I will turn on the engines through the pit menu. And weirdly enough, hitting the select key to bring up the pit menu also calls the landing control, the ATC. Which is weird, but it works for us because we won't have to go through the mobiGlas to call them. So once I've taken off using L1 and the right stick, I can strafe up to take off quite easily. And then I can just fly out. It acts quite as you would expect for having two sticks. D-pad down to raise my landing gear, and let's go. So you can do L1 and left stick to roll, as you can see. If you just use the left stick normally, it's strafing forward, back, and left and right. And the right stick is obviously a pitch and yaw control. And once you get used to that, you can actually fly quite decently using this gamepad. Okay, so once I've gotten used to this, let's go out of the armistice zone and show some other stuff. Alright, I'm out. Let's turn around to slow down. And once we did that, you can hit L1 and B to exit your seat. And hold D-pad up to bring up the weapon wheel and select your weapon. You can use either the trackpad or the joystick to do that. It's fairly easy. And then it just acts as your standard FPS gamepad layout, so once you get the door open, I can just shoot out a bit. So left trigger for aim down sight and right trigger to fire, obviously. Pretty simple. I don't know why this happens. Let's switch weapons. So you can hit D-pad down to cycle through your utility tools. Showing you my med gun and see if I can try to make it heal myself with L1 and B to change your fire mode, which results in it targeting yourself. So we can heal ourselves. You can hold X to stow anything you have on you, which gets rid of that. To show the pit wheel, we hit select and to access the inventory. And this is really something that, like I said before, you can't really do with a regular gamepad. But since we have trackpads, it provides us with the perfect solution for this. And since I've increased the sensitivity for it a bit, you can easily drag stuff from the right side all the way to the left side of the screen, so you can transfer your items. Perfect. So let's go back to the seat and show you some more stuff. So L1 and X to go into quantum drive mode, which spools the quantum drive, and you can mouse a target and let it spool. You can then do L1 and hold X to initiate the jump. Some more things to do. You can hit R1 to do a scan ping. There's many other controls that you can reference to the in-game control scheme for that. So let's go back and land at the station. So once I fly back, you can actually see me hitting the right stick. If you click it, it disables coupling, which allows me to do some finer flying here to approach the hangar bay doors and land. Let's lower our gear and slow it down a little bit. Alright. The left stick is a wee bit sensitive when you fly like this. Nope. Once we set down, we're good. So let's get out. And show you some of the mobiGlas. So you can hold L1 and hit select to bring up the mobiGlas. You can hold it, that'll bring you straight to the star map. You can surprisingly actually navigate the star map using the sticks, but I don't think you'll be able to select any of the objects, so that's where our trackpad once again comes in. So you can select a planet and then navigate to it if you want. So as I've said before, the game menus and any other HUD here really isn't meant to be designed with a controller. It's designed to be controlled with a mouse. I'm just missing a keyboard, but I can actually use Steam's on-screen keyboard to chat if you really want to, which is a little slow. But it does work really well. Alright, so let's go back up to the lobby. So as you can see, I can use pretty much all the functions that exist in the game using this, and it runs fairly okay. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this video helps you. I'll see you around.